Prepare for war to avoid war. That's the word from President Tsai Ing-wen on a trip to Taiwan's front lines. Executives at the country's top vaccine maker are in hot water over allegations of insider trading. Hacking for a better life. Meet the hacktivists who are changing Taiwan. And back where it all began, Austronesian musicians from around the world gather for a very special performance in Taipei. A warm welcome to TaiwanPlus News. I'm Liao. President Tsai Ing-wen on Friday said that recently announced year-long mandatory military service would not be a waste of a year for young men. On a visit to troops on the outlying island of Penghu, she also said Taiwan needed to prepare for war in order to avoid war. Liao reports.
Taiwan's military have been on high alert for much of the year. Beijing's been sending military boats and planes into the area around the island nation on an almost daily basis, putting a strain on Taiwan's armed forces. In the face of this increasing aggression from China, which claims Taiwan as its own, the country's President Tsai Ing-wen has been steadfast that Taiwan can and will defend its freedom. Now, as the year comes to an end, she's visiting troops on a strategic outlying island off the west coast of Taiwan, home to a major naval base.
近几年，威权主义持续扩张，影响区域的和平稳定。台湾位于民主防线的最前线，唯有备战才能够避战。我们必须不断强化自我防卫的能力，才能更有力地确保国家安全。
In just the last year, the president has stepped up Taiwan's defences, overseeing a record amount of military spending and extending the length of conscription to 1 year.
在新制下，当兵这一年绝对不是浪费一年，而是用这一年的时间在部队中学习到更能生存、更能作战、更能救人的技能，让自己更有能力守护家乡、守护 家人，我再一次的强调，和平所仰赖的就是坚实的国防。
Beijing has shown no sign that it plans to ease up its pressure on Taiwan, and its military personnel, like the soldiers garrisoned here on a small island just over 100 kilometers from the Chinese coast, that will continue to be the front line against that military aggression. Easton Chen and Liao on Penghu Island for TaiwanPlus.
Not everyone is on board with the newly announced changes to conscription. Opposition figures in Taiwan have criticized President Tsai Ing-wen's newly unveiled plan for lacking in detail. Ryan Kilpatrick has more.
Taiwan's decision to extend mandatory military service from 4 months to 1 year has been welcomed by many, but some opposition figures are questioning the decision. The former chair of the main opposition Kuomintang, or KMT, says the government hasn't been clear about its plans.
所以恢复成1年是你们确定够的吗？未来会不会再增加？你们1年怎么算出来？结果部长的回答是很简单，说因为恢复成1年不用修法。这可是我认为很荒谬。
The decision to extend conscription comes as China ramps up its military activity around Taiwan. At a forum hosted by the National Policy Foundation, a think tank affiliated with the KMT, attendees were worried about the current state of relations with China.
今年我们迎来了史上最糟的两岸关系，所以我如果今年还要再下一个字，我就会下这个字叫做破，两岸关系成为一个重大的破口。
KMT Chair Eric Chu earlier this week proposed a dual strategy of defense and dialogue for dealing with China, a nod to the fact that Beijing has cut off official lines of communication under President Tsai Ing-wen. Tsai's ruling Democratic Progressive Party could not be reached immediately for comment on the KMT's criticisms. The party has said extending conscription is necessary to deal with growing aggression from Beijing. The government says it will share more details about its plans in the new year. Ryan Kilpatrick for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwanese vaccine maker Medigen is being investigated for insider trading and transaction fraud. Taipei prosecutors have launched a probe into the firm and its parent company, Medigen Biotechnology Corporation, questioning 18 people. This includes Medigen Biotechnology Chair Stanley Zhang, who has been released on bail. Officials are looking into unusual trading activity ahead of major announcements by the company. This is believed to refer to a massive increase in Medigen's stock price, which came before the government's announcement that it would hand the company a contract to develop a COVID-19 vaccine. Prosecutors have also asked Taiwan's health ministry to investigate any unusual transactions by people involved in the deal. Taipei's Metro Authority is preparing for New Year's Eve celebrations this weekend. Jeremy Olivier reports on what they're doing to make sure that the people who go out to celebrate also make it home safe and sound.
Counting down to the end of 2022, Taipei's New Year's Eve celebrations usually see hundreds of thousands of revelers gather in the city's Xini district. There, they'll be able to watch the ever more spectacular fireworks display at Taipei 101. But this year, the city's leaders are on high alert. This comes after a crowd crush in South Korea during Halloween celebrations killed nearly 160 people and injured around 200 others. The company that runs Taipei subways says it's getting ready to accommodate an expected 2 million or more commuters throughout the New Year's holiday weekend.
事实上是42小时的不收班营运哦。那我们在这些重点的车站，我们今年就是加派了440名左右的一个人力，系统内会有2800名的工作人员提供服务。
To help make sure everyone gets home safely, the metro will create 1 to 5 meter wide buffer zones around the entrances to nearby stations. Staff will try to keep those who are waiting entertained by telling jokes and riddles. And they'll use handheld LED signs to help people see route markings. Metro police are also undergoing crowd control training. They're learning how to quickly assist injured patrons and carry out command and control operations. As 2023 approaches, officials are reminding people to be patient and not push, especially when the crowds get thick. Most importantly, they hope everyone can both have fun and get home safely. Alex Chen and Jeremy Olivier for TaiwanPlus.
Taipei police have issued an arrest warrant for an official from the main opposition Kuomintang, or KMT. Xiao Jingtian failed to appear for questioning regarding alleged vote buying. Xiao is a member of the party's standing committee. He's suspected of providing funds to the director of a local chapter of the KMT. Those funds were allegedly used to buy votes for Ling Xing'er, a Taipei City Council candidate in November's vote. Ling has denied having any part in the matter, noting that she was contacted as a witness in the investigation, not as an accomplice. KMT Chair Eric Zhu says that the party will respect the judicial process.
我们的态度一向非常清楚我们尊重司法的调查，也呼吁检方勿忘不重那也很多人提到说，不管蓝白绿，希望检方都能够一律公平对待。
Taiwanese company Evergreen Marine Corps is handing out massive employee bonuses. Staff at the firm receive the equivalent of 45 months of their salaries as a year-end bonus. The company is one of the biggest shipping groups in the world. Taiwanese businesses customarily hand out year-end bonuses to thank employees and share profits with them. Evergreen also drew headlines last year when it handed out 40-month salary bonuses to employees. Taiwan's government has collected record excess tax revenue this year. The main opposition Kuomintang says the extra money should be given back to taxpayers, but on Thursday, Taiwan's acting finance minister Ran Qinghua said that any form of tax reimbursement would need to go through a complex budgetary process. Ran says they normally use excess funds to pay off government debt.
从107年到去年为止我们实际上还债的5227亿，这个是实质还债。以前还债都是通常都举新债还旧债。
Technology is changing the way we all live for our lives. For one group of coders and programmers in Taipei, it's also the key to solving many of society's biggest problems. They meet up regularly at events known as hackathons, organized by the civic group GovZero. Sam Robbins brings us this special report on how the group is building a community of online activists.
好，送出了。
This is Ronnie. He's a professional programmer. He just uploaded an online petition to raise the age of adulthood in Taiwan's penal code from 18 to 20. It's a project he's been working on all day. Ronnie sent out the petition live on stage while here at a hackathon organized by the GovZero community. His project is just one of a number being developed at this group's bi-monthly event. These hackathons are designed to give attendees the chance to use their tech creativity to get involved in civil and political action. Everyone here is here to participate in one of the many projects that have been initiated in the community. These projects bring together people from all different backgrounds, all different levels of skills, and all different age groups to find ways to come together and change Taiwan just through their computer. GovZero has been organizing hackathons for over a decade. The community has helped build tools which have been integral to addressing a number of social issues. This includes helping build Taiwan's track and trace system during the COVID-19 pandemic and combating online disinformation. No one is paid to attend these events, which are run entirely by volunteers.
因为我相信，其实会愿意来居领 V 的人，他们都是希望可以为这个社会做出一些贡献，甚至是他们认为说，希望可以以行动去代替批评。像我是一个比较内向的人，我自己可能也会希望可以就是在网络上可能进行比较多的一些发声跟一些倡议。
Tata mihalai tu kisama namu, tama perlu tu niangku tahap inagai.
The whole point of this hacking group is to provide an environment where ideas are completely freeform. Some of today's attendees are working to improve a bilingual internet dictionary for the indigenous Amis language. Others are building art installations in the video game Minecraft, which recreate important events in Taiwan's history. As long as it aligns with the community's core values of being open source, hands-on, and civic-minded, anyone can pitch any type of project. This freedom and openness sometimes makes it a bit difficult for participants to nail down exactly what a hackathon is.
我觉得好难定义，就是它就是一个谁都可以进来，然后什么事情都可以做的一个一直不断流动跟变动的社群。
The origins of the community come from this website. 3 coders built the site in 2012 to help promote government transparency. It visualizes public spending, with each dot representing somewhere that the government funds are being allocated. That same year, the coders won first place at the Yahoo Open Hack Day, receiving about $1,600. They invested the prize money in running their first hackathon, one where fellow programmers could pitch political and civic-minded projects. The community has only grown since then, and it's one where people look out for each other. Timo needed volunteers to help develop his multilingual database of medical terms. He decided to approach the community for help. Volunteers not only assisted him in translating Mandarin into Indonesian and Vietnamese, they're also helping him by providing crucial user feedback.
我是一个工程师，我有时候会害怕我自己做的东西是我自己想象出来的需求，并不是真正大家都有这样子的需要。来到 G0V 之后，遇到了很多不同领域的朋友，各个公民团体，然后不同的人，他们带给我不同的建议回馈，让我可以确定说我做的这个需求是通用所有的人，大家都有这样子的需要，而且使用起来是顺畅的。
Unlike other hackathons, GovZero events are not competitive nor for profit. Their mood is deliberately light and relaxed. The way the organizers see it, these events are simply a space for people to meet, work, form friendships, and be part of a community.
We offer food, we offer stable internet connection, we offer electricity, so you can just get into the space and find a seat, and then you can indulge yourself into the work, indulge yourself into conversation with others and discussion with others like that.
The group has put a lot of thought and effort into encouraging more people to attend these events. As such, new members are greeted with a simple but effective message.
没有任何认识的人或不知道该做什么，这都是正常的。告诉自己没事的，没有什么是吃一片披萨不能解决的，如果有就吃了2片。最重要的新手之术，吃东西，只要认真吃东西，然后跟大家聊天，就会有新专案产生咯。
GovZero has created an alternate space for civic participation in Taiwan. It's open to people who want to build elaborate databases such as Timo, or simply send out an online petition like Ronnie. This is a community where people from different backgrounds can come together, discuss social issues, and very importantly, eat as much as they like. Liao and Sam Robbins for TaiwanPlus.
Coming up, we speak to the Taiwanese film editor whose 2022 mashup is taking the internet by storm. Stay tuned.
For more stories from here in Taiwan and around the world, please make sure to download the TaiwanPlus app.
Welcome back. You're watching TaiwanPlus News. Now for some top international stories. A Myanmar court has sentenced the country's deposed leader Aung San Suu Kyi to an additional 7 years in prison. The 77-year-old was convicted on Friday on 5 counts of corruption. The latest ruling is in addition to the 26 years she has previously been sentenced to, giving her a combined total of 33 years imprisonment. The Myanmar military overthrew Suu Kyi's democratically elected government in February 2021. She has been under house arrest since then and has been charged with various offenses, including voter fraud. She and her supporters say the charges are absurd and blatantly false. Iconic fashion designer Vivienne Westwood died on Thursday at age 81. Westwood started her fashion business in the 1970s together with then-husband Malcolm McLaren, the manager of the English punk rock band the Sex Pistols. They started a bar business together which also sold clothes, and their street fashion took the world by storm. Westwood was also a staunch environmental activist, raising awareness about issues like climate change, overconsumption, and global warming. As the year is wrapping up, a Taiwanese film editor has captured the feeling of 2022 with his latest year-end mashup video. Andy Wu used over 120 songs to cut together this 12-minute video of the year's biggest tunes, films, and music videos. Wu says this year he was especially inspired by the film Everything Everywhere All at Once. He made his first mashup video in 2013 as a hobby while studying accounting and has gone on since to earn a master's degree in fine arts. Our reporter Philip Brossard spoke with Wu about his creative process.
I was just looking at your videos. I wanted to compare, so I watched your 2013 and the ones from this year. And there's definitely a big change in style. Your first one in 2013, there was like 60 videos or 60 songs. And in this one, you have 120, which isn't your most, but I mean, it's a huge jump. And there's definitely a big change in like the style, like I can see there's different segments and there's more of a storyline through it. So can you take me through the process of how you create your videos?
I just do it freely. Like the first year, I just try to pile everything together, and I didn't pay more attention about like how to make it lyrically flow like smoothly or like that. And I think it started from 2014. I start to pay attention to the lyrics, and to the 2015 one, I start to make it in chapters. I start to divide my whole mashup into chapters, and it becomes much more emotional, and the story arc become more obvious. So after that, I just start to try to make it more emotional, or just to like reflect what's happening through the year, like who passed away or like pandemic, and try to use that as a media to like help people to get through the year.
Yeah, so that leads into my next question really well. I was noticing some of the content. For example, there's like Attack on Titan, which, you know, for the people who watch that, like that's a big thing, but it's not necessarily wasn't like mainstream in the culture. So is this year end mashup, is it Andy Wu's year, or is it kind of like pop culture in general, or is that the same thing?
So I think started from somewhere around like 2016, I think it's 2017, I started to put more stuff I like in my video. Also, sometimes I will put some like Taiwanese artists to just sneak in to just like shout out to them. It's a long, like at least a month process from the start to finish, and it's constantly changing. So like for this year, I still modifying my audio like even 2 days before I release it, because Wednesday just happened and then the video got viral, and I wanted to put the viral dancing in the video, but also I don't want to just put the visual in it. I want the music in it as well. So I put Google Mug and Bloody Mary into one of my section like 2 days before I release it. So luckily it fit somehow.
That was Philip Brossard speaking with Taiwanese film editor Andy Wu. Former U.S. presidential candidate Andrew Yang is in Taipei. The Taiwanese-American politician and businessman is currently in the country to visit family. On Thursday, he gave a talk at National Taiwan University titled "What Went Wrong with Democracy in America?" Yang was a candidate in the 2020 Democratic Party presidential primary. He recently founded a new political party in the U.S. called the Forward Party. He says that while forming his political party, he drew inspiration from Taiwan's third-party movements.
You know, I actually met with one of the leaders of Taiwan's third party, and I enjoyed the learnings and experiences, and there are some parallels. Though I think the U.S. system is somewhat distinct because it's really comprised of all 50 states, and the U.S. is so much bigger and frankly more diverse.
It's hard to imagine that Taiwan and Madagascar have much in common. They're separated by more than 9,000 kilometers of ocean, but both are home to Austronesian peoples who share linguistic and cultural ties. Singers from these countries and many others have come together in Taiwan to tell their stories through music. Sandy Chi has more.
Singing in her own language. This is Putar. She is from Taiwan's indigenous Amis people. Her performance is part of a project named Small Island, Big Song. The project brings together Austronesian creatives from 16 countries with the understanding that they all share a common origin, Taiwan. Many scholars now believe that Austronesian peoples migrated from Taiwan around 5,000 years ago. It's a theory that is supported by the high concentration of Austronesian languages in the country. Taiwanese filmmaker Bao Chen is the driving force behind Small Island, Big Song. She got the idea for the project back in 2014 while shooting a documentary in the Pacific island nation of Vanuatu.
当地的长老他看到我就说：“哎，你是哪里人？”然后我就说我是台湾人。结果他就说：“哦，我知道台湾，因为我们的祖先就是从台湾来的。”那我那时候觉得很不可思议，原来他讲的就是关于南岛语族的这个连结。
The conversation inspired Bao and her husband to set off on a voyage across the Pacific and Indian Oceans, a journey to connect 16 Austronesian island nations through music. And so the project Small Island, Big Song was born. Many musicians joined the project as they traveled from country to country, and they discovered they had much in common.
My tribalism look like the Taiwan people. For example, about the food, about the life, is really very amazing. My ancestor is some of my ancestors from Taiwan, because my sister Taiwan people who sing with us is like his face is like a Malagasy people. It's like my tribes.
So it all connects together. When you listen to the music, you hear like there's something really similar. And when we meet each other, like we always say like we are the same people, you know.
Taiwan's representatives to the project include not only the Ami singer Putar, but also a musician from the Baiwan people, Dai Xiaojun, Saolalui. Putar remembers her first encounter with the other Austronesian performers.
我那时候听到他们的音乐的时候，就觉得，哇，这个就是我想要做的。
我们一开始见面，我们不是闲聊天，我们是直接拿自己各自的乐器开始见，我们是用音乐去沟通。
After performing around the world, the musicians are back in Taiwan. They are hoping to use the power of music to raise awareness of a growing threat to island nations, the threat of climate change.
You have a bunch of people that come from completely different islands across the Pacific, and somehow they sing together. It's really beautiful.
我觉得真的可以看得到的是，南岛的这个连结，就是台湾，它让台湾的定位不再是只有可能亚洲的一个国家、亚洲的一个小岛，而是它把台湾变成是两大洋的一个文化的起源。台湾真的虽然说很小，我们是一个海岛的国家，但是我们带给世界的礼物都到现在都还无远弗届。
The musicians are hoping that more Austronesians will join their ranks, not just professional musicians, but people from all walks of life. They may come from small islands, but together, their songs and voices are big enough to wrap around the world. Andy Xue, Peachy Zhuang, and Sandy Chi for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching TaiwanPlus News. Finally, we leave you with images of reindeer chasing snow in China's Inner Mongolia. I'm Leslie Liao. Take care and have a Happy New Year.